Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Good evening. All right, there we go. Good, good. We've got live concerts back. This is great. And I'm hoping that we're going to have good behavior down here. Nathan. I told you guys in class, be a good audience. So otherwise you have to go sit with your parents. So, well, happy holidays and welcome. I'm very excited about our performance this evening. The students have been working really hard. And I told the students today, with meeting every single day, it's been awesome. It's definitely been a shift from last year where we had 100 minutes every other day. We got to do quite a bit in our class. And at the first start of it, it was kind of like, oh, how are we going to do this with 100 minutes? It's a long time. And we found our groove and our pacing, and it worked out really well. And then we're back to 55 minutes, and it's quick. They get in, and it just happens. And so we really maximize our time when we get in there. What you first heard this evening was the Symphonic Band performing set 4 from the John McAllister warm-ups. Our concert band will also do their set during set 2. So both groups have moved up from set 1 to set 2, and our group here from set 3, set 4. This gives a chance for the students today to kind of get the feel for the stage. We have not had a chance to warm up on the stage for them to kind of get a sense. So they have, but these guys coming in closer gives an opportunity to warm up for that. So this is a warm-up we use daily. Sometimes we do different variations. Like the last part you heard in the chorale gives them the opportunity to work on phrasing. So each study has something a little bit different they're focusing on during that time. The next pieces you're going to hear, a lot of different contrasting stuff going on there, a lot of fun. So we're going to get to our first piece here called Defenders of the Realm. we had Audrey Doubling playing on the chimes back there. We had Abigail on clarinet and Autumn on trumpet playing our solos near the end there. So we'll give them a round of applause one more time on that one. So we've had, when it comes to any type of events and concerts and things like that, there's always things that can go wrong and things that happen, and you just kind of got to roll with it. And so the past couple of days, we've had things going on. We have somebody who's out sick right now. We brought in some other percussion reinforcements from Churchill to join us tonight, so I definitely want to thank them. Very appreciative of that. So Mr. Van Ham and I have been back and forth the past couple of days trying to get things covered, make sure things are set. And so these guys have been working really hard and just being troopers about it. And so really proud of what they've been working on here. This next piece, Chorale Mystic chant on here. There's two different styles you're going to hear. You're going to hear this opening, beautiful line that's got some flowing melodies. You're going to hear a lot of this balance in here and different sections that will take noise, especially in the basses. I made sure that with this one, I get the basses some love. And so myself being a bass player, that's important. So, and then you're going to hear a part where we transition into more of this driving side. You'll hear a change in there. And so listen in for some of the energy that takes place with the accents and the ensemble. So here is our Chorale Mystic chant. ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Van Ham, Churchill High School Band and Orchestra Director. I'm going to talk to you guys in just a moment, and really glad to have him on board with us here at Churchill. We've been able to talk a lot about just all sorts of stuff, music stuff and everything, and we've had the privilege of having him be able to come down over to Frost and visit, talk to the students, even sit in and jam, play, hang out with us, which has been awesome. And so we've been planning and plotting a lot of things that we want to do with the students and stuff like that, so we're very excited about that. And you know, with performing music, I'm not going to say your whole thunder, but I want to bridge into with what happens. That I tell students that music is more than just what you do in the classroom. It's more than what happens on the stage. There's a lot of things that go on with it. And they don't see the big picture yet with the possibilities. And you'll see in the program I wrote in there that you don't have to be Mr. Race where you're a performer and a music teacher. There's a lot of opportunities out there for music and keeping music in your life and playing. And you know, it's actually a lot of fun to have former students to come and play with us. Last week, I got to play bass with the orchestra and play with my students. It was a lot of fun, and Mr. Van Ham was there to conduct. So it was really cool to be able to have a connection. And to see what these students do in class each day, the growth, the work in the teamwork, you know, it takes every single one of them. It's not like in the football field where we'll bring you in on the solo of the play, you can wait till we bring in the next play, and you know, they're all on. They're all in and part of this. And so, to see that, and besides that, the laughing, the fun, the bond that they create with each other is something that can happen for a long time. And that happens into the high school as well. And there's a lot of information that you'll get later on about high school and how that works with scheduling that. But I want Mr. Van Ham share just kind of what happens at the high school level and the things that go on besides middle school.
Well, thank you, Mr. Race. Like he said, my name is Matt Van Ham. I'm the Director of Bands and Orchestras here at Churchill High School. I'm going to highlight a few areas of our program tonight just to kind of put that interest and spark in your brain and think about, again, where are these students who are on stage going in the next year and a half as they head into high school? Because as much as we want to embrace the moment, it's right around the corner for a lot of these students here at Frost. I will bridge the gap by saying a big philosophy of mine here at Churchill is being part of something bigger than yourself. I used to teach 6th through 12th grade, so I used to teach my own beginners all the way up through high school. And one of the biggest times we would have students leave our program was between that 8th and 9th grade. Building change and kind of time change and moving into high school. And my rule with those students was always, if you're going to leave the band program, you have to tell me what you're going to be part of that is not the band program before you can change your schedule out of band. And the whole point of that was because I didn't want those students going into the high school, and especially going into a high school where maybe they're not as familiar with everyone. It's a new space, a new environment. They're trying new things, trying new opportunities, and I didn't want those students going into that environment without a group to be a part of. And so that was always my rule with those students, and I think I'm going to establish that rule here in Livonia, especially at Churchill. So that's kind of my philosophy is if you're going to leave the band program, what is it you're going to be a part of? So why not stay in the band program and be a part of the great things we have going on here, which I'll highlight in a moment. But before we do that, can we just give these students another round of applause? I have to say there's a reason I teach high school is because when I've taught middle school, I have not been able to achieve that this quickly in the year. And Mr. Race has done a phenomenal job with these students who most of which are just beginners, first time on their instrument. So that's a huge accomplishment for all of them. So now shifting our focus to Churchill for a few minutes, I want to run through the opportunities that we have on the band side of the program because what's really great about our program here is that the opportunities just kind of blossom beyond what you have at Frost. So at Frost, it's very much concert band, 7th grade predominantly band, 8th grade predominantly band. I know they're concert band, symphonic band. We not only have our concert programs where we have 3 levels. We have our concert band, our symphony band, and our wind ensemble, which is an audition group for our very advanced musicians. But we also include a jazz band. We have our marching band, which I'm sure you've seen and experienced throughout the community. We have our students participate in the pit, which is playing music or the instrumental parts for the musicals. We have our drumline program as well as our percussion ensemble program, which is an after-school program where we bring in Chuck Bricata, who is the director of the University of Michigan Marching Band, to work with our students. And yes, we have instructors of that caliber coming and working with our students here at Churchill. We also have students who participate in All-State. It's an audition ensemble that takes students from literally across the state of Michigan, hence All-State. And they get to go and perform in Grand Rapids in January. We're sending some students over there come 2022. We're excited for that, as well as things like solo and ensemble continues, things like small chamber groups continue, and those kind of opportunities. And of course, performing. And I just want you to take a moment and think, wow, think about what we just heard. What are those students going to sound like on this stage their senior year? That's 5 years away for a lot of them, or 4.5 at this point. Imagine what they'll be able to do. So a couple other quick things that I just want to talk about, because while I have you here, I want to make sure you get the information from me. One of the biggest things that we run into around this time of year is when we start talking about scheduling for high school. The information that goes out is for the non-band and orchestra student. So what I mean by that is the information that is going to be provided to you and your child come scheduling time is aimed at students who are not in band and orchestra. It's not to slight us, it's not on purpose, it's not to harm our programs, it's just because not every kid is in band and orchestra, and we just have to schedule differently. So on the counseling side of things, that's just the easiest way to get most of the correct information out to folks. So again, it's not to slight us or anything, it just works that way. So what I want you to leave here tonight knowing is that we just have to schedule differently. When you initially get the scheduling information, it's going to look like band won't fit into the schedule. I guarantee it will. Myself and Mr. Race will provide more information. We'll provide a whole 4-year outlook on the program that shows you where you can fit band in the schedule. And in fact, what often happens is students who maybe choose not to continue on in band find themselves in senior year going, what class am I going to take? Because all of a sudden, by the time they get to senior year, they've done their requirements and they have 3-4 hours that they need to fill. And they're wondering what to do. Whereas on the flip side of the coin, our band students often who have those extra electives come play in the concert band and learn a brand new instrument. I have probably 5 or 6 seniors this year who are in our audition wind ensemble, and they're in our lower group playing a brand new instrument and getting to learn a second instrument. So how cool is that experience? So instead of looking at that program and saying, oh, well, band is kind of over, I'm not going to do that, they've done the complete opposite. And when not only did I get to participate in band for 4 years, I got to also learn another instrument on top of that. So that's an option with scheduling for that. And I just want to reinforce, again, the information that goes out doesn't always look like band fits. I guarantee we can make it fit. And that's if you're in MSC, that's if you're in Kappa, that's if you're in athletics, that's if you're in the career program, that's if you're in the center program. We can make it work with everything. So that's just a message I wanted to have come from me. And if you're ever, unsure, talk to Mr. Race, email me, I'll get back to you very quick and we'll make it work for that. The other last thing, just because it's a big part of our program, is the marching band. We really love our marching band here. There's a lot of pride in the marching band. A lot of our students get very excited about the marching band. But every once in a while I'll have people who look at it and go, oh, that's a big commitment. Or I'm not sure I want to participate in that. So my two big points here. My first point is this. It initially looks like a very big commitment. It is no bigger commitment than participating in athletics, and in my opinion, is a smaller commitment. We do have a 1-week band camp that we host in August, and host is the wrong word, we go away to a camp, and we do that for 1 week. But then our rehearsal schedule is just 2 rehearsals a week. There's 5 home games, there's 2 performances outside of that, and so it's really not as large of a commitment as it initially seems, and we have students who also participate in athletics, we have students who work, we have students, you name it, they're in it, and they're in our marching program. The other point that I want to just make sure that I've brought up is most of the time, students who participate in marching band, we don't see attrition from that group. So what I mean is we don't have students who come into the marching program and then after a year or two say, and then they drop out of it for their junior or senior year. What we often see is those who come in as freshmen and don't participate in the marching program end up joining as sophomores or juniors and wishing that they had been there for their freshman or sophomore years. So that's just something to consider as you're moving forward into the scheduling side of things and thinking about, what is going to be your child's participation in the Churchill band program. And the last thing I'll say is we do travel, and we have, if everything goes to plan, not this spring, but next spring, we're really looking at New York as a place to travel, just to throw that out there. And so for that, I will return the concert and the microphone over to Frost and Mr. Race. I know you didn't come here to hear me talk, but you got to have that fun experience. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. I try to be very quick on email, and Mr. Race can also help you as well with a lot of questions or things you have. And I hope to see you, if you're an 8th grade parent, here next year with your child up on stage, just getting better and better each year.
All right, we're going to take just a quick moment here. We're going to change our ensembles around, and then we'll get ready for our concert band. So just a moment. First-year players.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, that's no easy task, I'll tell you that. I had injured my wrist and I was out for a couple weeks when school started, so for me being at home, it was really hard not to try and get work done, so I kept doing it anyways. Mr. Jensen, are you here in the house? Our assistant principal, are you here? Obviously or not. If he is, we're like, we don't talk about it. Shouldn't be, not supposed to be working when you're gone. I'm like, I have to, I want to communicate with these guys. So when I was figuring out what instruments they're playing, there were some switches, there was some that had some experience in other instruments that were like, wow, I'll go with that instrument, you know? So as we built it up, this is what we got. And very nice balanced ensemble, meeting every single day. Lots of hard work goes with it, especially trying to teach each of the instruments where some of them need specific direction from me over there while we're working on other things. So there's a lot of moving around with what they're doing. And so a lot of the focus at the start, and I tell the students, these guys know too, that there's three things that are important. The first one is the foundational skills of your technique. So producing the air, phrasing, getting a good tone. That's number one. Number two is your note reading and your rhythm studies. And if you can read, understanding rhythms and notes, anything you put in front of them, they can do. And so we put a lot of focus at the start of the year with that. And then from there, we started to incorporate the music. and there's a lot of independent parts here. This is not beginning band music where you have everybody playing the same line with maybe a bass part. There's a lot of independence there. You heard some of the stuff where a certain section would start, and then you have another section jump in after that, and you're going to hear more of that this evening. So I'm really excited for these guys. I told myself I'm very proud of you. For kind of halfway through September, we started getting it playing, and we're in December now, and I said wait till we get to the end of the year, and next year, and so on. It's going to be amazing. So, Mr. Van Ham, watch out. Here they come. Here we go. as we round up to our last piece here, Holiday Rock, I want to thank our students for the hard work you guys are doing every day. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun working with them every day. I want to thank the parents for your support for the program, for having your students in music. It makes a big difference. If you're not in the classroom to see, it really does. It's fantastic working with them. I want to thank our house crew for their support and help tonight. So thank you guys for they take care of the setup, everything that's going on, the lights and all. So thank you. It makes things run way smooth. I want to thank our principals, Mr. Jensen, Mrs. Wheeler. If you're here tonight, we got one there. I want to thank them for their support to allow me to do all this stuff with them. With the orchestra, the bands, anything music we do, we always get that green light, go. We always want to support our school, show what we do, the excellence we bring, and they're always like, yes. And so I appreciate that. It really makes a huge difference with what allows what we do with our students, impacting the community. So thank you guys for that. We got people on the stream. The stream is working. So last time we had a issue with the orchestra, wasn't running, but it is tonight. So we got people watching. So thank you guys out there for watching. I appreciate that. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Students need to bring their instruments home Thursday after school, so make sure they come home and make sure they play for you. They got some stuff in their book they can play, also holiday tunes and that. They also have a solo they should be working on if they're not doing solo ensemble, so they should be working on it. So make sure you tell them, get them out and play, and sing along with them too, so be encouraged in that. Again, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. And I think we're good on the stuff once we're done, so just making sure they have all their items. And again, thank you very much.
What does this mean back in what would I go back to class 2?